See press, posters, and social media for details.
Junior and Sons. We fix your windscreen. You might have a star crack, you have a long crack, a bullseye, a chip, combination crack. All of these can be fixed right here. Why change and put on something that doesn't have the capacity to withstand the pressure and put on a bootleg? Fix what you have. Because that Junior and Sons bring all of the issues to naught.
Fencing, engraving, signs, banners, posters, billboards. We do it here. AC Repairs. Come and check us out. At Junior & Sons, one place you get everything done. Looking forward to seeing you.
Super 6 is the jackpot game with the biggest cash payout, and it's very simple and easy to play. With increased chances of winning, just pick any 6 numbers from 1 to 28, or buy a quick pick and you can be a jackpot winner. Get 6 numbers and you can win the jackpot. Match 5 numbers plus the bonus ball and be a winner. You're still a winner if you match 5 numbers, 4 numbers, or even 3 numbers plus the bonus ball. Get a free ticket if you match the letter. Drawing twice per week. You never want to miss your chance at being a jackpot winner. So, remember, a ticket a day can make you rich today.
Top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. The door is not closed to coalition politics. AFC and PNCR engage in early morning talks. All sectors across Guyana must receive equal opportunities, particularly in an election year, says Justice Abel. Threats, diplomacy, and youth advocacy highlighted at Guyana-Venezuela border panel discussion. And almost 9 months later, 7-year-old succumbs to gunshot wound to the head. Mother pleads for justice. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Monday, March 31 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. The door is not closed to coalition politics, so says leader of the People's National Congress Reform after the conclusion of an early morning meeting with the Alliance for Change. More details in this report. The Alliance for Change and the People's National Congress Reform met early Monday morning for further talks on the possibility of forming a coalition ahead of the 2025 general and regional elections. After the closed-door meeting, which also included PNCR Executive Sherwood Lowe and Alliance for Change General Secretary David Patterson, leader of the PNCR, Aubrey Norton, said that while no final decision has been made, the door is not closed to forming a coalition.
Basically, what we have agreed is that the AFC will put their recommendations or their positions in writing, and then we will meet to address them. I can say to you, we haven't closed the door on coalition.
Leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes, seemed optimistic after that meeting. He said that the AFC remains hopeful as the two sides iron out pertinent issues.
I think the talks are useful, very useful. Hope is alive and kicking, and we look forward to further engagements.
The meeting came hours after the AFC released its proposal for a coalition with the APNU. The AFC said in a press statement prior to Monday's meeting with the PNCR that the party will accept a 60-40 split at all levels of government, with 60% of the positions being held by representatives of the APNU. The party also insists that its leader, Nigel Hughes, will be the presidential candidate. It remains unclear if and how the AFC demands will be met, given that the PNCR is the largest party in the APNU, and that party has already made it clear that its leader, Aubrey Norton, will be the presidential candidate. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Meanwhile, the Working People's Alliance says it is optimistic that the main opposition parties will come to a consensus to contest the upcoming general and regional elections. Daisy Richards has more.
Speaking during the Working People's Alliance WPA's weekly press conference, co-leader of the party, Dr. David Hines, highlighted the vulnerable state the incumbent administration has found itself in and believes that only a grand coalition stands a chance at defeating the People's Progressive Party civic administration.
While it is being said in some quarters that the opposition's base is not yet motivated, we believe that that condition is temporary. A coalition of the willing, guided by a united purpose and intent, would energize the base in short order.
The party called on the main opposition parties to put aside or iron out their differences.
While negotiations over critical issues are normal in coalition building, WPA calls for consensus rather than confrontation.
The party co-leader also pointed out that for the 2020 elections, a 70-30 coalition was agreed upon, and if the Alliance for Change AFC now decided on a 60-40, there might have been a change.
We have heard that there are several polls that are being that have been done and circulated. The WPA has not seen any of those polls.
Hines, however, highlighted that his party is yet to be briefed on the coalition talks and cannot comment at a time whether the AFC is making a fair or unfair proposal. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
Meanwhile, given that the 2020 general and regional elections raised several concerns relating to alleged voter fraud, one legal expert insists that authorities ensure both oil and non-oil sectors be given equal priority to thrive. Antonio Day has more details.
While acknowledging that Rome was not built in a day, retired Justice Courtney Abel suggested that the Guyana Elections Commission (GCOM) use biometrics to prevent fraud and other forms of voting impersonation. Justice Abel stated that the 5-month debacle during the March 2020 general and regional elections should have prompted GCOM to rethink its strategy to enhance the voting process since elections are due this year. In an exclusive interview with Nightly News, the constitutional law expert stated that GCOM must adopt rapid digital transformation methods.
I don't see any reason why, if money is no problem, and I believe that it may not be a problem, I don't see any reason why a lot of these technologies can't be introduced very speedily.
Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandalal, during a recent appearance on his weekly program Issues in the News, stated that he does not believe Ghana is prepared for biometric voting. He gave an eye-opening response.
I am not opposed to any form of technology, but the manual system is working. You want to resort to technology where things can go wrong in a country like Guyana, where we can have a blackout on election day and it damages some computer program.
When asked about concerns raised by the country's Attorney General, Justice Abel gives this response.
A lot of people are really well insulated at the moment from blackouts by having solar and having generators and all other kinds of power generations. So I don't see that, I really don't see that as a big issue. And if it is, then I don't see it as an issue that can't be solved.
Justice Abel, a constitutional law lecturer at the University of Guyana, stated that GCOM is constitutionally mandated to conduct free and fair elections and must create effective mechanisms to ensure this is achieved. He reasoned that these systems should promote electronic voting and tabulation, with paper trails as well as real-time results dashboards that are accessible to the public. I'm Antonio De reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save up to $50,000 on select fridges. Get a free grill or mixer with select stoves and more. Need to upgrade your home? Get smart TVs from as low as $32,999. Plus, shop today and pay later. And make your first payment in 30 days with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends April 23, 2025.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
With 70% ethyl alcohol, Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer eliminates 99.99% of all germs and even moisturizes in the process, leaving your skin clean and hydrated. Mighty Foam Hand Sanitizer. How do you stay clean?
Krishna Rock Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating, machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, or call 220-9624, 616-9416, or 619-7880. At Krishna Rock Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. You will hear now that it was political mischief to say that Azzuddin Mohammed will be joining forces with the Alliance for Change. Attorney at Law Nigel Hughes stresses that the meeting between him and the Mohammeds was on legal matters. Here is more. It is not true that businessman Azzuddin Mohammed has engaged the Alliance for Change on political matters. That's according to leader of the Alliance for Change, Nigel Hughes. Mr. Hughes on Monday dismissed claims by the government and some media outlets that he had a second meeting with businessman Nazar and Azzuddin Mohammed, who were sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department. Hughes maintained that this photograph, which surfaced over the weekend, was taken about 3 weeks ago when the Mohammeds sought legal advice.
I've been addressing this repeatedly, and I put up a post. I met Mr. Mohammed once, the Mohammeds once, in a professional capacity. I said yesterday, for anybody to represent them, you have to get a license or a permit from OFAC. We've not had any subsequent meeting. I don't anticipate that we will have a subsequent meeting because it was a professional matter.
The attorney at law said discussions between the Mohammeds included addressing legal obstacles which the team was encountering in its philanthropic work.
They met me in a legal capacity. I cannot disclose what was discussed, and that is the position.
It was General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Civic Bar Jagdeo, who first insinuated that Azzuddin Mohammed would join forces with the Alliance for Change to contest the elections. For Azzuddin Mohammed, he maintains he can defeat the PPP at any elections on his own.
I want to make this clear that I'm not aligned with no political party. I'm not aligned with the PPP. I'm not aligned with the PNC. I'm not aligned with the AFC. This is clear. I can stand alone and defeat them.
Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News.
In the courts, former Finance Minister Winston Jordan was on Monday charged with misconduct in public office and released on $150,000 bail. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
On Monday, former Finance Minister Winston Jordan appeared before Senior Magistrate Fabio Azor at the Georgetown Magistrates Court, where he was formally charged with misconduct in public office. The charge alleges that between February 25, 2020 and June 11, 2020, at Main Street, Georgetown, Jordan willfully misconducted himself by acting recklessly when he signed Vesting Order number 69 of 2020. This order transferred over 5 acres of land at Plantation Good for Walkton and Sparendam, East Coast Demerara, valued at $150 million for just $2.4 million. The chart states that the land was sold at a significantly undervalued price, constituting an abuse of public trust without reasonable cause or justification. Jordan was not required to enter a plea, as the charge is indictable. He was granted $150,000 bail and instructed to return to court on April 23. He was represented by attorneys Royce Dale Ford and Don Cush. The charge was brought against him by the Special Organized Crime Unit, SOCO, as part of ongoing investigations into controversial land sales under the former APNU-AFC administration. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Center for International and Border Studies over the weekend hosted experts in diplomacy, law, and international relations aimed at analyzing Guyana's response to Venezuela's escalating provocations. Hear more from Tiana Cole.
As tensions surrounding the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy continues, the Center for International and Border Studies, CIBS, on Friday hosted a panel discussion to examine the issue from multiple perspectives. The event, which was moderated by CIBS Director Dr. Mark Curtin, saw Dr. Rayard Insanali, former Guyanese ambassador to the United States, focusing on the diplomatic aspects of Guyana's response to Venezuela's ongoing aggression. He emphasized that, historically, Guyana has relied on diplomacy as its primary tool in defending its sovereignty, given its lack of military power, limited economic resources until the emergence of oil and gas, and relatively low geopolitical significance during its first 50 years of independence.
Even if we were to devote the money and resources necessary to building up the Guyana Defense Force, it would be some time before it was capable of deterring the clear and present danger posed by the rogue regime in Caracas and its armed forces.
Danian Denny, a final-year international relations student at the University of Guyana, argued that small nations like Guyana have long been treated as pawns in the ambitions of larger powers. However, he emphasized that the youths of Guyana refuse to be sidelined, as Essequibo is more than just a piece of land.
Spreading awareness via social media and advocating for coordinated youth positions, creating youth groups to engage in national debates about short, medium, and long-term responses to this dispute.
Attorney at law Ralph Ramkaran underscored the severity of the Venezuelan threat, calling it an existential crisis for Guyana. He warned that an invasion by Venezuela would strip Guyana of 2/3 of its territory, leaving it without mineral resources or an oil and gas industry.
Guyana will become a rump state, its richest 2/3 on maritime space in the hands of Venezuela, and still threatened by Suriname, whose foreign minister has now been elected as the head of the OAS, which hitherto has played a very powerful role for Guyana in the OAS.
Carl Greenwich, Government of Guyana Advisor on Borders, highlighted the complexity of the dispute, noting that it is not just about claims or counterclaims, but also the mechanisms available for resolution. He pointed out that while Venezuela continues to challenge the validity of the 1899 arbitral award, Guyana maintains that the ruling is clear and legally binding.
The issue is this problem, in which one party is saying, we expect you, that is Guyana saying to Venezuela, we expect you to speak to us and demonstrate what it is that you think has caused, or why you're saying that the award of 1899 is null and void. That is the only problem.
Tiana Co reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Tiana, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Keeping up with the kids' growth spurts might mean it's time for a bigger fridge. Don't worry, at Quartz, we've got you. Save up to $50,000 on select fridges. Get a free grill or mixer with select stoves and more. Need to upgrade your home? Get smart TVs from as low as $32,999. Plus, shop today and pay later. And make your first payment in 30 days with Quartz Ready Finance. Whatever you need, we've got you. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Offer ends April 23, 2025.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. You need to know that come April 7, 2025, the government will introduce an automated speed ticketing system as part of the Safe Road Intelligence System project. Here again is Tiana Cole.
The state-of-the-art system, powered by advanced speed cameras and radar speed signs connected to cloud-based infrastructure, will detect and ticket speeding violations, ensuring seamless and fair enforcement of traffic laws. This initiative is part of the Safe Road Intelligence System (SRIS) project, a collaborative effort between the Guyana Police Force and the National Data Management Authority (NDMA). As part of this project, new radar speed signs and speed cameras have been installed across Guyana to monitor vehicular speeds and traffic patterns. The automated speed cameras will detect vehicles exceeding the speed limit, and tickets will be generated automatically without manual processing. Tickets will be generated automatically and sent via SMS or email if drivers have their contact details registered with the Guyana Revenue Authority (GRA). For others, physical tickets will be delivered to their address. The system ensures impartial and consistent enforcement, leaving no room for manual interference or manipulation, and violations can be contested in court or paid via MMG or the GRA's upcoming Partner app. It further added that with speeding identified as a leading cause of road fatalities, this initiative represents a critical step in improving road safety amidst the rapid expansion of Guyana's highways and road networks. President Irfan Ali highlighted the importance of adopting advanced technologies to enhance safety and accountability, emphasizing that the system aims to save lives rather than penalize drivers. Alongside the deployment of radar speed signs and automated cameras, the government will roll out a nationwide awareness campaign to educate drivers on the system and its benefits. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Anil Nandlal in January said there must be a collaboration between contractors, technical personnel, and legal advisors to ensure the system is both technologically sound and legally compliant.
It's a complex exercise because we are moving a process that is manual, and that is manual now and paper driven to one that is completely electronic. And we have already passed the amendments to the Road Traffic Act, and we now have to build out the machinery.
Last year, amendments were made to the Motor Vehicles and Road Traffic Act to enable 24-hour surveillance cameras on major roadways. These laws will aid police identify drivers who violate speed limits and fail to wear seatbelts. Over the years, hundreds of deaths have occurred due to road accidents. These new measures are expected to serve as a deterrent to speeding and other traffic violations, ultimately reducing road fatalities. Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
A sad story now. A 7-year-old boy who was struck to the head by a stray bullet has died. Daisy Richards will tell you more.
7-year-old Jeremiah Gustav on Saturday succumbed to a gunshot wound he sustained during a shootout between two gunmen in Charleston almost 9 months ago. The boy was being treated at the Georgetown Public Hospital for 5 months and was discharged into the care of his family earlier in 2025. It was said that the boy started to display problems breathing on Saturday and was pronounced dead a while later. His distraught mother told Nightly News on Monday that her son's condition has always been worrisome.
He had 9 surgeries, 9 different surgeries. Coming down to the last, I didn't see no difference in him and stuff like that. I feed him as normal, clean him, do everything.
She has since called on the perpetrators who took her son's life to face the full course of the law.
I expect justice for my son because nobody won't like to lose a little small, a 6-year-old. And my heart is broken at this point.
At the time of the incident, the 6-year-old boy was standing near his mother, who was a food vendor, when the suspect Marlon Marcus approached on a motorcycle. Marcus saw Odell Garnett, also known as Crab, whom he had an old grievance with, and discharged 4 rounds, a short distance from where the 6-year-old and his 39-year-old mother stood. The stray bullet hit the then 6-year-old to the head, which caused him to fall to the ground. He was picked up by his mother and rushed to the Georgetown Hospital, where his condition was listed as serious. The police discovered 2 9mm spent shells at the scene. The suspects were initially charged with attempted murder. For HGP Nightly News, I am Daisy Richards.
President Irfan Ali has urged the Muslim community to embrace the key values of moderation, empathy, and justice in celebration of Eid. Antonio Day reports now.
The lessons of Ramadan must help to shape us to make better decisions.
That was President Irfan Ali on Monday during the observance of Eid-ul-Fitr at the Muslim Youth Organization in Wolford Avenue. The head of state, who stood before scores of Guyanese at the Ramadan village, expressed optimism that the just concluded fast would have shaped devotees into showing humility, empathy, kindness, and a devotion to God.
How do we ensure that in our everyday life we show empathy to each other? We show empathy to the sick. We show empathy to those who are facing injustice.
Ali said more compassion must be reflected in our society, as too much selfishness exists.
If we are better humans individually, then collectively we'll be a better society. And if collectively we are a better society, then we'll be a better country. And if we are a better country, then we can be part of creating a better world.
In acknowledgement of Eid-ul-Fitr, Sheikh Muni al-Haq, head of the CIOG, ushered in the occasion with special prayers.
صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى.
Eid-ul-Fitr marks the end of Ramadan, the holy month of fasting, and is celebrated during the first 3 days of Shawwal, the 10th month of the Islamic calendar. I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Ready to up your game? Ready to up your game? Win big with over 60 epic prizes. A brand new PS5, Nintendo Switch, iPhone 16 Pro Max, Apple smartwatch, and the hottest earbuds from Apple and Samsung. Plus, we are giving away thousands in phone credit and a whole year supply of Buster or Turbo Energy drink. Here's how. Buy any Buster or Turbo Energy drink, find the code starting with BB and enter online or on WhatsApp. Visit us on Facebook or Instagram at Turbo_Caribbean or Buster Guyana for all the details. Don't just play. Up your game with Buster and Turbo Energy.
Interested in honoring or paying tribute to a loved one, or just making a loved one feel special? HGP TV offers you all that and more. Air your birthday greetings, death announcements, and wedding anniversaries on HGP TV today. HGP TV offers affordable prices, convenience, and great services. Call us on 220-3660 or email us at sales@hgptv.com.
You know, I've been thinking, since I moved over to the west side, this is the perfect location for put up a food stand.
Put up food stand here?
Yes, Officer Bringer.
No, Granny, you can't put up no food stand here.
Why not?
Because the gas to energy pipeline.
Gas to energy? Why is that?
They can bring gas from offshore to region 3, that can turn into electricity and other things.
So what about if Granny put it up over there?
No, Granny, listen. This whole area here, from here to the West Bank, is considered the right of way. So nobody can build, plant, dig, or burn nothing here.
But what if I am?
No buts, Granny. Listen, you could get yourself or others hurt. Watch, you see this number here? You call it if you see anybody doing anything out of the way or doing anything they ain't supposed to be doing, like building, digging, or burning stuff on the right of way.
All right, guys, so I hear you.
Good evening, I'm Daisy Richards with Monday's edition of the Regional News. We begin with news from Colombia. Carlos Letter, former drug trafficker and one of the founding leaders of Medellin cartel, was arrested on Friday by Colombian authorities upon his arrival from Germany on a warrant in the Latin American country. Letter was sentenced to life plus 135 years in prison in 1988 after Florida court convicted him of cocaine trafficking. His sentence was later reduced by 55 years after he testified against former Panamanian dictator Manuel Noriega, and he was released in 2020 due to health issues. Quote, Letter Rivas, who arrived in the country from Frankfurt, presented in our information systems an arrest warrant in force, unquote. Colombia migration authorities said on X, adding that the former drug lord had been handed over to the police. A video from the migration authority showed Letter in a suit and the tie guarded by several agents. While in Venezuela, U.S. authorities have notified Spanish oil company Repsol REP, MC, that its license to export oil from Venezuela is to be revoked. A company spokesperson said on Monday, while Spain's foreign minister promised to defend Repsol's interests. President Donald Trump's administration told Repsol it had until May 27 to wind down its operation in the Southern American country. The spokesperson added, oil companies Morel et Prom from France and Eni from Italy have said during the weekend they have been notified by the U.S. government that their respective authorizations to operate in Venezuela were revoked. Last week, Trump issued an executive order declaring that any country buying oil or gas from Venezuela will pay a 25% tariff on trades with the United States. The previous administration had authorized exceptions to U.S. sanctions on Venezuela to allow individual companies to source Venezuelan oil to feed refineries from Spain to India. The companies that had received licenses and comfort letters from Washington also include India's Reliance Industries and the U.S. Global Oil Terminals. Finally, the smell of decaying bodies permeated the streets of Myanmar's second largest city on Sunday as people worked frantically by hand to clear rubble in the hope of finding someone still alive 2 days after a massive earthquake struck that killed more than 1,600 people and left countless others buried. The 7.7 magnitude quake hit midday Friday with an epicenter near Mandalay, bringing down scores of buildings and damaging other infrastructure like the city's airport. Relief efforts have been hampered by buckled roads, downed bridges, spotty communications, and the challenges of operating in a country in the midst of a civil war. The search for survivors has been primarily conducted by the local residents without the aid of heavy equipment, moving rubble by hand and with shovels in 41 degrees Celsius heat, with only the occasional tracked excavator to be seen. A 5.1 magnitude aftershock Sunday afternoon prompted screams from those in the streets, and then the work continued. Many of Mandalay's 1.5 million people spent the night sleeping on the streets, either left homeless by the quake, which also shook neighboring Thailand and killed at least 18 people there, or worried that the continuing aftershocks might cause structures left unstable to collapse. Many areas still have not been reached. So far, 1,644 people have been reported killed in Myanmar and 3,408 injured, but many areas have not yet been reached, and many rescue efforts so far have been undertaken by people working by hand to try and clear rubble, said Kara Bragg, the Yangon-based manager of Catholic Relief Services in Myanmar. Thank you for watching. Do have a great week. Until next time.
The door is not closed to coalition politics. PNCR in early morning talks with the AFC. All sectors across Guyana must receive equal opportunities, particularly in an election year, says Justice Abrel. Threats, diplomacy, and youth advocacy highlighted at Guyana-Venezuela border panel discussion. And almost 9 months later, 7-year-old succumbs to gunshot wound to the head. Mother pleads for justice. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.